didn't think I was gonna eat ass tonight. That was not on my bingo card.
Come in and get scared together on this episode of The Crime and the Creepy.
Alright, so we have another one of Charlie for The Crime and the Creepy. And this one is amazing. Divorced over Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright. I love this. Let's go. I'm very excited about this one.
Nights ago on stream, I watched a little bit of a video.
Oh my god, commercial! No!
A few nights ago on stream, I watched a little bit of a video called I Got Divorced Over Yu-Gi-Oh! And I went into it, you know,
Emilio got back in Pokemon.
Hat, thinking it was going to be like good, silly fun. Like I thought it was like an exaggeratory title where he was telling a story about how his wife walked in like Seto Kaiba and ripped his blue eyes. And then he said, enough is enough. We'll play a shadow game to decide the fate of our marriage. And then they divorced or something. But the reality is, it's a very honest and open look
spent too much
an
money.
Unhealthy relationship. And it's one that I went back and finished the video for and have been thinking about since. So in a nutshell,
I kind of want it to be fun, but I assume he just spent too much.
To Yu-Gi-Oh! And he was actually paying his bills through the content he was making. So it's not like this was a hobby that was destructive.
Okay, not a hobby.
You know, he wasn't going out on the streets and selling his butt for Yu-Gi-Oh! Briefcases of cards.
He isn't the problem? Like, okay, now I'm invested.
Living through Yu-Gi-Oh! And his YouTube channel, but his wife didn't really like it. She didn't have any respect for it.
Okay.
And it basically boiled down to he married like his #1 hater. And
no respect! It's his job! And he loves... Okay, fuck you, bitch. Sorry, I don't even know what... I don't even know the context, but I'm angry. Okay, why are you together with... Why did you marry someone who has these kind of interests? And then he makes his jobby, he turns... Jobby? He turns his hobby into a job, apparently successfully, because he said he covered the bills. And then... Good thing they got divorced. Good thing he deserves better. Okay, sorry. Rant over.
She eventually wore him down enough to the point where he did abandon the hobby and his YouTube channel.
No!
She just thought it was kind of cringe, I guess. Like,
she made him quit.
Every healthy relationship, your partner has to, get into whatever hobby you're into, but at the very least, the bare minimum is being understanding.
They accepted, yeah.
Like, I'm not saying she had to go out there and get a tier 0 deck or learn how to pendulum summon so she could start banishing assholes to the Shadow Realm, but maybe don't be constantly spitting and shitting on your husband for something that he's clearly passionate about and something that is actively making him money. I got divorced over Yu-Gi-Oh!
I got a line he could have used to cut the relationship fully off. Just eviscerate this chick with. Okay, I want to see. I married a gamer even though gamers give me the ick. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But, okay, like, there's one thing... Okay, before we watch, I have one thing where I could have a minimal understanding with the wife. Okay, hear me out before you judge me. Before you leave stream, hear me out. Okay, imagine you marry someone. Like, you are with someone for, I don't know, 4 years. You are happy, everything's fine. You have your hobby together. You do stuff together. He seems like the unsub. He seems like the perfect person for you. So you decide to get married, okay? A year goes by, everything's fine. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he gets a new hobby that he spends all his time with, and he changes in the way that he doesn't interact with you anymore. He doesn't have any other hobbies anymore. He maybe gives up his job and do this, successful or not. I can understand if that was not okay for the wife, and if she would have tried to if she talked to him about it and be like, hey, I understand you have a new hobby, but I feel neglected. We need to find a way to do both. If that was done, I'm kind of on her side for now, but I have a feeling that's not how it's gonna be considering the comments that you guys wrote. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Just watch, girl. You will hate the wife. Okay, let's go.
To say this, let me just say it straight out the way. I am no longer married, and I'm divorced.
You could have
More
said you're
time
not
for
pretty
Yu-Gi-Oh!
enough to be
You can
crazy.
grind.
We're done.
YCS pretty soon, I think. Can't remember when the next YCS is. But you got so much time now.
When I met this woman
Oh.
and I told her about my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff,
Okay, they met.
she hated it. She didn't like it. She said that, hey, you could do something better with your life. You should go back to school.
Why did they marry? Okay, no, not why did he marry? He talked to her at the beginning of the relationship, and she said, I hate it. Like, why did they marry? Why am I not married yet? And they married? What is this?
Alright, I hate that. Man, just let someone have hobbies. Like, who cares? It's not hurting anyone. Not hurting you. It's nerdy. Sure. Who cares? It's a hobby. I bet she had stupid hobbies too. Everyone does.
I said, you know what? Maybe she's right. You know what I did? I sold all my equipment. I
No.
sold my YouTube channel. All my camera stuff. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it is time to move on. Maybe it's time for me to do something better with my life. Not knowing that at that time, what I had was very special. At that time, something that
God,
I
yeah.
chose to do, YouTube, I gave it up because someone said, hey, you know what? Maybe it is time to move on. You got to do something better with your life.
There are times where someone's hobby is detrimental to them, whether it's financially draining or mentally draining. Like, that is a problem, and that's where you'd come in and say, like, hey, maybe it's time we look for something else, try a different path, and move on to something else. But that's not the case here. This guy had a channel, and his YouTube and Yu-Gi-Oh hobby were helping sustain him and pay bills. So her coming in there, fee-fi-fo-fumming around, marching up to him, saying, like, you gotta move on, makes no fucking sense. Like, that's so stupid. Just basically saying it's time to grow up. You know, this is a children's card game. We don't do this as adults. It's time you be a real man, a real adult, and start doing crypto scams. Like, it's just silly.
And she's no longer here. And this problem persists. She told me at that time,
I still don't understand it though. Like, before they were married, when they got together, was this already a thing? Like, why would you marry someone that doesn't support your hobbies at all? Or even, no, it's not even supporting. She actively looks down on this. Like, how could you be with someone that actively looks down on your hobby? Huh? This is immediate toxicity? Yeah, exactly. He could be doing much worse. Yeah, some people have really bad hobbies. Definitely. Maybe he was desperate? I don't know. Kai got rich with Yu-Gi-Oh cards? No, definitely. I mean, look at Pokemon right now. It's kind of explosion out of nowhere again. And people make money out of it and lose a lot, so don't invest in Pokemon cards. It's not worth it. Hi, Shrimpy! Welcome! Hope you're having a good day. Might have been that he didn't have confidence and thought he could not do better, so settle. I don't know, guys, never settle. Not worth it. Don't give up your hobbies for snoo. No, don't do it. Don't snoo, not worth it. I just need to see the Discord to see your Pokemon addiction growing. Okay, hold on. I have not even bought a lot of packs. You guys, like, the things you saw at Christmas was all, like, presents, okay? Like, we opened them all, and, like, my friends opened them all together, and I was allowed to keep what I liked. But I'm not, like, I don't even, like, I kind of started a collection now because of that, but I didn't even have a collection before. How did it feel to pull? It wasn't bad, but it's not good either, so don't do it. It's not worth it. Not worth it. But I did when I did pull Monkey, I was like, oh my god, that's funny. I have to show you. If someone marries Goron, it can get better because it already is the best option. Oh, you wrote it can get better, you sucker. If someone marries Goron, it can only get better, so you better leave her. Oh, no wonder I'll be unmarried for the rest of my life. Amazing.
hey, you want to meet my mother?
What?
You need a car. Because I didn't have a car at the time. I was doing YouTube. I was working from home.
Why do you
I
have
didn't
to-
need
What?
drive anywhere.
Chasing the dream.
Yes, YouTube is what I did for a living. It's how I paid my bills. And I was street performing also. How did I street perform? I just catch the bus 20 minutes down the street, played my horn, went home. I never needed a car. Even though I explained to her, this is what I chose to do.
Why did she even come into your life then? It sounds like
Yeah,
she didn't
yeah.
respect.
Thank you,
your hobby,
Charlie!
She didn't respect your drive, your
I'm
passion, or
questioning the
anything.
same things.
Why the fuck was she even here? Just to completely
How did
change
you
you?
get together?
That's sad. And there's definitely a limit too. Like, if you're obsessed with a hobby and it's actually a detriment on your life, which it doesn't sound like it was for him, then I can understand someone coming in and be like, all right, look, maybe we need to reevaluate this. You know, maybe,
Oh my god, I have the same opinion as
fucking,
Charlie.
I don't know, jelly beans.
Scary.
And putting all your money into antique jelly beans is, you
Maybe
know, taking
I
its
am the
toll. Maybe
Charlie
we should
all
look at other
along.
things so you can get out of
The
the house
Charlie
and
that
start,
scares
finding
me.
something else. I get it, but it doesn't sound like it was to that point here. This is just sad. I imagine the channel was generating income. He just said he was paying his bills through YouTube and street performing. So he was making money. He was perfectly sustaining himself.
Maybe he was
That's
not
the
making
impression I
enough.
get. She was probably embarrassed to tell her friends what he does for a living. Well, then don't be with him. If you're embarrassed of your significant other, why are you with them in the first place? That is-
I am moist.
that's on
I
you.
am so
if you don't respect
moist
Don't be
24/7.
with him. It's bad for both you and the partner.
We are all the
I feel
Charlie.
like this
We
probably
are all
happens a lot,
moist
although
the
I've
way
only seen it
the.
happen to one of my friends once, where he got with a girl that just
We are
really
all the
didn't like
moist we made
anything
along the way.
about
That's what
him.
I'll try to
Or,
say.
you know, like,
Oh my God,
what are
rhymes.
you doing there? Why
That's
are
one of
you
a kind.
choosing to be with this person if the
Gotta
goal
become a
is to
rapper
change
now.
everything about them, to turn them into a blank canvas for you
Charlie
to paint on?
Wawa isn't
That
real.
just
They
doesn't
can't
make
hurt
sense.
you now.
Find someone that's more compatible with the things you like.
Moistening
at
the
that point.
streamer.
Like in this
Let's
case,
go.
she comes in and she just doesn't like any of it. You're going to flush Yu-Gi-Oh down the shitter. You're gonna
still
go
don't
back to
get it.
school. Honestly, it sounds like a mom that's trying to like discipline their kid. Like, all right, no more Xbox. We're unplugging the Xbox, and you're gonna go to school twice as much now.
What?
Somehow we're gonna find extra school for you to go to. It's just so fucking toxic. This guy was doing just fine. He was providing for himself through his passion, through his ambition, his hobbies, but it didn't fit what she thought was acceptable. So she goes in there and tries to force him to do all of it, and unfortunately succeeds where he does.
How did they meet? How
abandon
did they meet?
his-
I want
his
the
hobbies and his
pre-story.
passion
Prequel.
for her, for this relationship. And that just shouldn't have been a sacrifice that he was forced to make for the sake of the relationship. He didn't need
Nah.
to tribute summon his hobby in order to get his wife's appreciation for what she believes is an acceptable idea for a
Palms are
adult
sweaty,
hobby.
knees
It
weak,
was making
arms are
money,
heavy.
it was
I'm
paying his
Charlie,
bills,
just
and
gotta-
it's something he loves doing.
I
Why
nearly
change
did it.
that? There's really no good argument
And
I
he's
can
such
think
a
of for
fucking
it. Sounds
trap
like she just
man.
hated Yu-Gi-Oh. She must have been more of a Digimon gal.
So she hated those cards. She literally cried
She
because
cried.
of those cards. And people say, hey, priorities, man. It's your wife, or, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Spent the
telling me
last
your
20
wife
minutes
was
looking for
crying
your
about
car,
Yu-Gi-Oh
couldn't
cards.
find it.
But then I'll be back at that point where I'm giving up things that I like, things that's a part of my life for someone else to feel
Yeah.
happy. And I feel miserable in the process. I love that. I miss that. Why can't she come along with my journey instead of scrutinizing me? And then that's money gone from me. It's not about the money, but that was money gone from me.
That was his career. Man, what a disaster. What a shame. Imagine your Yu-Gi-Oh passion being so epic it makes your wife cry.
Yeah, that's true though. Like, how obsessed?
My husband has
Do you have
mastered
to
the
be?
shadow games. Damn. Fuck. I'd want no.
Like in my head, he was like, you know, it was like that time. It was like sexy time, and he came in, and he's like, you know, all dressed up in the in the how's his name? The one with the dragons, Kaito? Is it Kaito? I forgot. But he's all dressed up in that kind of gear, and he's just like, I banish you into the shadow realm we go. It is time for a duel. Starting to undress himself. Kaiba, there we go. I mean, this is where I probably would have drawn the line too. Kaido's the dude cosplaying. Ah, sorry. Stop being more successful than me by playing a children's card game. You think that's it? I mean, did she work? Set to Kaiba. Yeah, I think I mixed like 15 anime characters when I was looking for the name. I would get horny, but I'm a weirdo.
Nothing more than my partner loving their job, man. I'd cry tears of joy. I imagine that's how it works in most healthy relationships, brother. I feel like it's kind of important to have, like, respect.
Oh, yeah, respect, you know.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of basic. He triggered her trap card of divorce. Now, another thing I was thinking about when I went back and watched the whole video is that there is a time where a hobby becomes too consuming, where it starts straining the relationship. Like, maybe he was always fiddling around with those Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you know, by candlelight in like a dark room,
Trap card of alimony.
scratching at his neck for more
True.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards and ignoring his wife, and
Maybe that was her
letting
plan
the
all along.
relationship start to crumble around him because it's always Yu-Gi-Oh all the time. But I don't think that was the case here. And you'll see why I think that in a moment, the more he explains about how it got to that point. And it's not all about Yu-Gi-Oh! He does talk about how a big part of his life has always been music and street performing, and even that wasn't acceptable to her or her parents, really.
I met the parents. They asked me, hey, what do you do for a living? I had to tell them I am a musician. I couldn't tell them I was a street musician. I am a musician. Then they said, hey, you have a degree? I said, I don't have a degree.
Okay, no. This is where I disagree. I'm sorry, but if I get you like and make you meet my parents, and you're like, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh card collector. Yeah, like that. I wouldn't be very happy about that either. Not gonna lie. I would try to make it sound a bit more nice. I don't know. I don't know. Even just, I'm a very successful online businessman. That fine. No more. That's it. Successful online professional dealer. Yeah. But I would bend the truth here a little too. Not gonna lie.
My ex-wife parents did not speak to me for 2 years and told her not to marry me because I don't have a degree.
That's fucking brutal,
Okay,
and to me, it blows my
why are you
little
together
noodle
again?
because this guy was doing so fine on his own. He was paying all of his bills. He was living just fine with the money he was making through Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube content.
Well, if you have the option of passive income, if you get so lucky that you can just stream or do card pulls and get by, then do it. I know, right? Like, if he was, like, okay, let's be honest. Like, I cannot, like, I am so far from paying my bills off of streaming or YouTube or anything. Like, I have the only income I have is via, like, Twitch, via payouts, and whatever else you guys decide to donate or buy off of Throne. That is my Twitch income. I could never pay my bills with that at this point. Never. So he must make really good money off of those things if he was able to pay his bills with that. So I really, like, what? Why would you go back to a job or something? Like, huh? Or street musician? Hello? Why be a street musician if you can make money online? Hello? I don't get it. She made him sell his collection so she could buy it through a middleman. Oh my god, it was all a plot, like all a ploy. Just so you can, you know, have... And then she gets half of it anyway. She gets half of it anyway because of the divorce. Oh my gosh, she's a genius. An evil mastermind. She's definitely smarter than the other one with the car. He was financially stable enough to get a crazy wife. Congratulations, you just discovered marriage fraud. I am mind blown. I'm too honest for that, okay? Dude, Fabi, I'm too honest for that shit.
Content and street performing music.
Love you
And
guys.
he'll talk about it in a moment. He was making enough money where he could provide for both himself and his wife through those passions. Yet they wanted him to just burn it all to the ground, fucking salt the earth so he could restart with what they think is acceptable, which was going back to school to get a degree and getting a 9-to-5 job. Both things that he did do. Well, he got the 9-to-5 job and attempted school, but school wasn't working out super well for him. But he did everything for that relationship to try and make her happy and be like an acceptable partner in his.
Okay, if I get together with someone who's doing VTube online creation, okay, and I am the only one that brings home income because his stuff is not bringing home income just yet. But I see he's trying his hardest. It just doesn't work out because fucking algorithm, whatever. I would be okay for an amount of time. But if he does it for like, I don't know, 5 years and never bring any money back, and then I would have to sit him down and be like, this is not our future. I can't be the only one paying for bills. You have to step up your game. And either that means we have to approach this online stuff differently, or you have to get a job until it works. You can do both if you have the capacity, but if not, you have to give up. That's how I see it, in all honesty. But this is just crazy. He made money off of it. He was happy. Why did he have to force him into a 9-to-5, which literally sucks the soul out of us? Why? Dude, if he loves what he does, then that is so much better than him hating what he does. If you hate your job, then you get home more mentally drained. Yeah. Then if you like it, imagine how much joy that would bring. Yeah, I agree. 100%. This is just making me pissed. I'm peacing out. Hope you have a great... Aww. Even if he's not fully earning, he can make up for it in other ways. Not everything is monetary. His woman went full on capitalism. If you haven't hit it big, get at least a part-time job. Yeah, exactly. You have to provide for you. Yeah, it's true. But, you know, Maka, bills need to be paid. So, especially, like, I mean, if you're single and you don't have anyone to rely on, you have to get a job too. Like, hello? The Frosty, oh god, what did he do? Cancel Goro. Amazing. I think of TGC especially as playing stocks. It's profitable, relatively easy physically. It's the matter of risk. I mean, yeah, definitely. And I don't really think it's as profitable as actual stocks and stuff if you know what you're doing. But yeah, it's just like a lot of it is just gambling too. You just gotta admit that there is a lot of gamble. I'm sorry, Fabi. I hope you feel better later.
Ex-wife's parents' eyes.
So I give up this YouTube thing. I give up my entrepreneurial thing.
That's just
I try to do something that's not innately a part of my strengths at all. Because I'm thinking I'm in love to do something for somebody to prove something. So when we got married and we moved out to Baltimore to someone
Will
else,
our hero trade Yu-Gi-Oh cards for domestic
hey,
bliss?
How come you're not paying the bills? And I was like, what?
Oh, will the Dark Magician girl be his next great poll? I love it.
I have a 9-to-5 job. I don't make enough from this 9-to-5 job.
How does he not make enough from this job?
Before then, I could street performing in YouTube. I made enough money off of that to pay the bills. Now I'm working 9-to-5 all day long, and that's not a complaint because there are people who do that. But I had something that most people wish they had.
He's right. He had the dream job. He literally had the wet dream most people wish they had, which is their hobby, their passion, being able to sustain them. So they don't have to do something that makes them miserable just to survive. And he says, like, he gave all of that up for her and this relationship and that new shiny 9-to-5 that he got, all to please his wife because she believed that that was the only real way to grow up and, you know, move on from Yu-Gi-Oh and street performing music. Well, that 9-to-5 couldn't pay the bills for both of them. And that's the unfortunate reality of where America is right now. I've talked about this a lot. The normal salary you make at like a 9-to-5, you can't fucking live off of that in like a two-person household. That just doesn't.
Not only
it's
in the
impossible.
US.
Things are way too expensive, especially in certain locations. It's just not happening. It's an absolute shame. It's a fucking crime. I'm not going to just rant about that. I've done that plenty on stream. He had a job that could do that. Like, he had a job people kill over. And she just didn't like it. Found it cringe, I guess. Wasn't proud of his hobby and that job that was making him money. So
absolutely wild.
Because he mentions as well, he made the choice. He ultimately chose to get rid of all of that for her, but she was pushing him to do it, and now he's miserable with this 9 to 5, and she's not happy because that 9 to 5 isn't able to pay all of the bills.
Yeah,
She says,
good
hey,
job,
you
woman.
need to find a hobby. I'm like, oh, let me play Yu-Gi-Oh again. So, last year, I start my channel up again. I buy my channel back from Java.
Okay.
Oh, she gave me the okay to go into a hobby.
What?
You know what she said? You're spending too much time playing those cards. She says, why are you into those cards so much? I said, hey, I need to make a video about something.
After selling
I'm so
everything and
confused
starting
now.
over,
What a
he
plot
does
twist.
eventually get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! To a certain extent where he picks up the hobby again, but his wife still just hates that the hobby he picked up was Yu-Gi-Oh! And YouTube. So he goes on to say how she just really didn't like it. That's when he gets into saying how she would like actually cry over Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's where I was saying, like, if it was completely consuming his whole life, where he was ignoring her and everything in the relationship was starting to just dwindle because he was too preoccupied with Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'd understand it. But from what I'm seeing and like going back to his channel, it doesn't seem like that was really
love
the
that
case.
emote.
He was talking
Good
about how
emote combo.
since he'd been away from the game for an extended period of time, he needed to relearn it. He needed to
Yeah,
catch
this
up on
week
all
is
the new things with
awful.
Yu-Gi-Oh! So he could
No
make
shit,
content
man.
around it. So he'd be able to be knowledgeable on it, which is perfectly understandable, I'd say. And it doesn't seem like he took it to an excessive degree. It's his passion, it's his hobby, it's what he wanted to do, and it's what he was doing, so he wanted to get back to it. He recognized just how much of a gift being able to do that and make money off of it was, and he wanted that back. So he was getting back into the hobby. She still really hated it. One thing led to another, and now they're no longer together. And it seems like the big reason is because of Yu-Gi-Oh! The deeper issue is
Wow.
that she had
Nah,
absolutely no respect for his
Yeah.
passion, and she wasn't supportive and seemed like was embarrassed of him. So it's two people that should have never been together in the first place.
Definitely,
He
yeah.
gave up everything he loved to try and make her happy, but she was never really happy with the man that he actually is. So it's just very incompatible, and they tried to make it work, and it didn't work. And both people, I think, were not happy as a result of the
I
relationship.
feel like they didn't
Hopefully
know
going
each
forward,
other
they
at
both
all.
find better partners. Hopefully this guy's starting over on his YouTube channel. Luckily he was able to buy it back. Hopefully he is able to find that success that he once had. And yeah, just kind of wanted to talk about it because I just found it to be one of the more honest videos I've seen on the platform about a subject like this. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
Honestly, I think that's absolutely crazy. Like, I was expecting, like, okay, honestly, I kind of want to see her side of the story. I assume it's not on YouTube or whatever, because apparently she hates that. Never sell your soul to please others. Yeah. She definitely thought something along the lines of, he'll grow out of it and I have no other options. Yeah, right? Like, I don't get it. Plot twist, she runs a makeup blog. Definitely. She's probably an influencer on TikTok, 100%. I don't know. I'm speechless. Like, that really just feels like both of them were kind of settling, even though they knew it wasn't for the best. Imagine hating your partner's passion. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, there are just certain things when you get together that you have to agree on. And one of them is if you are okay with your partner's hobbies. Because if your partner has a hobby that you don't want to do, or don't want to, I don't know, be part of, don't want to know about, don't want to accept, don't respect, then I don't really think it's good to be with that partner. Because I don't know, you'll not be able to ignore it. You don't have to like your partner's passions, but you have to support them. Yeah, like, you have to at least it would even be better if you like it. I don't know, like for example, easy example, if my partner would like to hang out every Friday and get drunk, and that's his I don't know, hobby, I wouldn't be happy about that for personal reasons. I want someone that doesn't do that. So if my partner would do that, and I know it at the start of the relationship, I would be like, no, I'm sorry, that's not for me. And if she hated Yu-Gi-Oh cards this much, then why did she stay? Why did she marry him? Not marry him and he'll stop. Trust in the process. I can fix him. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Very strange. Very strange. Very, very strange. I don't know what else to say. I'm happy that the guy has his channel back. I hope he found success again. I hope the wife finds whatever she wants and needs, and I hope he finds someone else. His own dark magical girl. But yeah. Thank you, Charlie.